For this week's post, we were to select one artwork or artist from our text and discuss that artwork or artist's significance within art history. Why, according to your text and your own research, is this an important piece or person worthy of being in a textbook? What is it precisely that makes this piece or artist necessary to examine when learning about the history of human creativity within the visual arts? Be sure to name the artist and or artwork under discussion in the first portion of your video. If possible, include a link to an image of the artwork online under the link to your video. For my discussion, I chose to talk about Jackson Pollock. According to our book, Pollock is the leading innovator of abstract expressionism. Jackson studied alongside Thomas Hart Benton and the Mexican muralist David Sicarios in the 1930s. By studying the Navajo Indians and psychologist Carl Jung's theories of the unconscious, helped Pollock find ways to express primal human nature. Jackson Pollock created artwork by dripping thin paint onto the canvas rather than brushing it on. Working on huge canvases placed on the floor, he was able to enter the space of painting physically and psychologically. The huge format allowed ample room for his action painting. Pollock dripped, poured, and flung paint, yet he exercised control and selection by the rhythmical dancing movements of his body. While looking over the pieces of artwork by Jackson Pollock, I enjoyed the reflection of the Big Dipper. The painting consists of built-up layers of paint with dripped enamel as the final touch. It was during this moment that Pollock traded his brushes for sticks, trowels, and knives, and began adding foreign matter, such as sand, broken glass, nails, coins, paint tube tops, and bottle caps to his canvases. Jackson Pollock was a part of the abstract expressionism movement. This movement is a post-World War II movement that developed during the 1940s in New York. Abstract expressionism was to encompass not only the work of painters who filled their canvases with fields of color and abstract forms, but also those who attacked their canvases with a vigorous movement. The reflection of the Big Dipper embodies the aspects of abstract expressionism because of the vigorous movements that Pollock used while painting. The painting may have resembled a mess to most that observed it. However, it contained many colors and was painted by placing a large canvas on the floor and dripping paint on it. Also known as action painting. Action painting is a style of painting in which paint is spontaneously dribbled, splashed, or smeared onto the canvas rather than being carefully applied. The resulting work often emphasizes the physical act of painting itself as an essential aspect of the finished work or concern of art itself. I feel like Jackson Pollock is important and should be placed in a textbook because of his art form and the way that he was able to do it. And instead of just painting a piece of paper on an easel, he actually put something on the floor and dripped paint on it to make artwork. And me personally, I think that's something different. And I'll end this discussion with one of Jackson Pollock's quotes. It doesn't make much difference how the paint is put on as long as something has been said. Technique is just a means of arriving at a statement.